Tonight, not guilty of criminal negligence.
Unfortunately, we didn't get that justice today, but that doesn't mean it's over. I won't stop. I won't stop. I'll do it for him.
Raw emotion after a supervisor is acquitted in a case that saw a 20-year-old die while trimming hedges. Why the defendant's lawyer says he never should have been on trial in the death of his friend. The cameras are off. Will Ottawa drivers hit the gas?
We have a whole discussion around the next steps. How are we going to be made whole? Because we're going to lose all the money that we collected that didn't go into general revenues.
How the city plans to work within the province's new parameters to slow down cars. And the need keeps growing.
My parents struggle with addiction, and because of that, we had to rely on the Ottawa Food Bank.
Who is using the Ottawa Food Bank and how often? The Hunger Report breaks it down. Good evening. We begin tonight with an emotional day at the Ottawa courthouse. A supervisor at a local hedge trimming company charged in a young worker's death found not guilty. CTV's Caitlin Wilson was in court today and joins us live now with more. Caitlin.
Patricia, inside the courtroom, Nick Chenier's mother held on to small reminders of her son, wiping away tears as the judge found Stephen Deans, a supervisor with Best Green Hedges, not guilty of criminal negligence, causing death.
I have waited for this day for 2.5 years. It just didn't go the way we had hoped, unfortunately.
Jennifer Chenier broke down quietly as the judge acquitted Stephen Deans in her son's workplace death in 2023. 20-year-old Nick Chenier was electrocuted while trimming a 6-meter hedge at a home in Manotick. His hedge trimmer came into contact with a 16,000-volt power line.
He was super charismatic, very funny, very loving, and loved by so many people.
The Crown argued Deans, as a supervisor, had a legal duty to warn Chenier and to prevent him from working within 10 feet of a power line. During the trial, court heard that Deans never got up on a ladder to take measurements, but the judge said there was no direct evidence Deans knew how close the high-voltage line was, and no industry standard showing his actions were a marked departure from what a reasonable hedge trimming supervisor would do.
It's a horrible, tragic case. Mr. Chenier was not just a colleague of Mr. Deans, but also his good friend. Imagine being prosecuted for the death of your good friend. So he's heartbroken at the loss of his friend.
According to the Ottawa District Labour Council, it was the first time in the Ottawa area this specific charge was laid against an employer or supervisor of a company.
I think it sends a message, a loud message to employers that they need to smarten up. They need to protect workers when it comes to health and safety.
As for Jennifer, she says she will keep fighting for change in honor of her son.
If there was proper laws and legislations instilled for this type of work, he would still be alive today. So I'm not done. I'm going to continue my fight.
In November 2023, company owner Sheldon Best Green pleaded guilty to Ministry of Labour charges and was fined $56,000. Charges against the company were withdrawn. Patricia?
CTV's Caitlin Wilson reporting live for us tonight. Thank you. Well, tonight, Big Brother is not watching. Ottawa's 60 photo radar cameras are turned off after the City of Ottawa pulled the plug to comply with Ontario legislation. Now, cities must use new eye-grabbing signage outside of school zones to slow down drivers, pushing municipalities such as Ottawa to rethink traffic calming. More than 244,000 speeding tickets were issued through photo radar cameras in Ottawa between January and September. Going back to when the cameras were turned on in July 2020, over 1 million tickets issued. CTV's Tyler Fleming joins us with the latest on this new move today. Tyler.
Yeah, Patricia, and over the last 5 years, city stats show speed cameras worked. Motorists did slow down, but now that they're gone, the question is, will speed compliance remain? No more flashes.
They're catching people off guard.
No more tickets in the mail.
I just recently got a ticket and you can't fight it.
The days of photo radar on Ottawa roads are done.
It's sort of a cash grab more than anything, I think. So I'm glad that they're being shut down.
Jacob LaFrance agrees with the new provincial legislation replacing school zone cameras with large signs, flashing lights, and other traffic calming measures.
Speed bumps are fine and common sense so that people are not getting tagged on Saturdays with speeding tickets.
As part of the deactivation, which requires the cameras to be fully removed, the Ontario government will provide around $40 million to make the transition. But over the last 5 years, cameras have generated more than $80 million used for safer roads around Ottawa.
All these things that we use to make things safer, that money is now gone, and the province has promised to make us whole, but we haven't completed that process at this point.
I feel like it's a waste of money just to tear down all the cameras, and as the cameras stop working, let's just not replace them.
While Jennifer Guerra has no problems with cameras around schools, like on Katimavik Road in Canada,
I think people slow down when they know the camera's there, and they speed up when they've cleared the area.
Today, she's right. My radar gun showed overall compliance next to the camera, while a little ways down the road, not so much. In 2021, this speed camera was a top ticket generator. Now, averaging month to month, there's around 30% fewer infractions.
It does seem to be working, but I'm not entirely pro-camera either.
Police say enforcement will be ramping up and increased fines in community safety zones will remain, along with red light cameras.
People need to calm down and obey the rules of the road, take a deep breath, and keep it safe for the kids.
Just a note, ticket issued by speed cameras prior to their deactivation must still be paid when they're mailed out. And in a few weeks, we'll head back to Canada's speed camera to see if motorists are following the posted speed limits. Patricia.
That will be interesting to see, indeed. CTV's Tyler Fleming live for us tonight. Thank you. You can scan the QR code on the bottom of your screen to link to us online or visit ctvnewsottawa.ca. We have more details on the new plans around traffic calming. Lots of photo radar stories online as well. Just scan the QR code on your screen using your smartphone. Still ahead, meal prep times 1,000. In Ontario First, a new shared kitchen turning donated groceries into soups and stews for the food bank in Renfrew. That story coming up. Well, here's a live look now through our Centennial Glass Skycam. It is 0 degrees out there on a Friday evening, heading into the weekend. And looking ahead to that forecast, Jackie is at the Bronson Centre for us with that. Jackie.
Yes, thanks so much, Patricia. Good thing we were indoors. It was what a sight for downtown Ottawa. We saw the heavy snow move in for a couple of hours, but it has since cleared. But we are expecting colder conditions for this evening, as well as more wintry weather for the next couple of days. Now, taking a look at our watches and warnings, a snowfall warning is in place for parts of Quebec. For here in eastern Ontario, a freezing rain warning is in effect. So that means ice accretion between 2 to 5 millimeters, and this warning is in effect until Saturday evening. Taking a closer look at what we can expect for the next few hours. So clearly skies for the midnight hour, -5 to start us off. There is a slight chance we could see some sunshine to start off our day, but then around 3 p.m. and moving forward, that's when we will anticipate the periods of freezing rain. Right now, though, temperatures sitting around the freezing mark, not just here in Ottawa, but for Bancroft, about 4 degrees in Kingston and 2 in Brockville. We'll have details of your full weather forecast in just a bit. Patricia.
All right, Jackie, thank you. Well, it's a sad reality that is affecting tens of thousands of people in the nation's capital. The Ottawa Food Bank releasing its annual hunger report, highlighting usage at an all-time high. CTV's Natalie Van Roy is live with the latest on this. Natalie.
Well, Patricia, the report signals that food insecurity is more common than ever, affecting 1/4 of all households in Ottawa. Jonathan Brazard knows well the pain of relying on a food bank to survive.
The first time I remember accessing the Ottawa Food Bank is when I was a child. My parents struggled with addiction, and because of that, we had to rely on the Ottawa Food Bank.
And it lasted for years into adulthood.
For the next 15 years, I relied on food cupboards, drop-in centers, food bank, up until the past 4 years, where I found sobriety, and I now work a full-time job.
We believe that together we can and must do better.
The Ottawa Food Bank's 8th annual hunger report highlighting a crisis in the nation's capital. Visits to the food bank have doubled since 2019, with more than 500,000 visits in 2024 alone.
Unfortunately, the numbers this year are numbers we never imagined were possible. Affordability is driving people to need a food bank. We're seeing more people who are employed.
The report shows more than 25% of households in Ottawa experienced food insecurity last year.
This isn't just a statistic. It represents real families struggling to put food on the table and afford basic needs. Food insecurity goes beyond empty bellies. It impacts physical and mental health, child development, and increases the risk of chronic disease.
The food bank seeing a rise in visits by two-parent families and newcomers, and a 90% increase in visits by seniors.
We don't receive any provincial or federal funding, so we rely heavily on donations in our community to make up that $30 million budget.
A sad reality that Brizard knows too well.
I was getting emotional just thinking back on my own life and my own struggles. The people that are here gathered to try to make changes. It's very heartwarming to see that the community cares about the people who are struggling and less fortunate.
And in terms of those accessing food banks, two-parent families represented 29% of visits to the Ottawa Food Bank. That's up 20% since 2019. That's up from 20% rather since 2019. Patricia.
CTV's Natalie Van Roy live for us tonight. Thank you. Well, as shoppers start making their Christmas list, they may be checking them twice for price comparisons. Concerns about higher costs associated with the trade war with the U.S. weighing on shoppers' minds. A new survey says many shoppers are cutting back on spending this season. CTV's Kimberly Johnson reports.
Celeste Regenbald says tariffs are changing the way she shops for the holidays.
I'm trying to buy Canadian. I'm trying not to buy online just because of shipping costs and all of that, tariffs and all of that too.
She says shopping in person is helping her keep an eye on deals and hoping upcoming Black Friday ones help too.
I like to go all out and buy all my girlfriends like similar gifts and do like PJ nights and buy them PJs. I don't know if I'm going to do that this year again. I have a tight budget this year.
And she's not alone. A new survey from the Bank of Montreal shows many shoppers are cutting back on spending. 41% of shoppers are adjusting their holiday spending. 37% of people are looking for gifts minimally impacted by tariffs, including Buy Canadian. 15% of people are budgeting more in anticipation of higher prices.
I'm done my Christmas shopping. I Christmas shop all year round because of the expense, because I do it a little bit at a time and then it's not as hard on my bank account.
I feel like I did the opposite. I feel like right now I'm spending a big chunk of money, as before I didn't spend anything.
In all, the BMO survey shows holiday shoppers are planning to spend just over $2,300 this season on everything from travel to entertainment and gifts.
Merry Christmas.
As Santa arrives at Place d'Orleans Mall, officially kicking off the holiday season on Friday, Paulina Lazone has 2 new additions to her family shopping list.
This is my first year with kids. We have quite a few kids in the family, so we just want to make it really magical for them.
Many shoppers say they expect to spend the same amount as last year, but getting fewer items, while others are putting fewer people on their buy list.
My sibling and my husband's siblings, we've all decided we're not getting gifts for each other. I have a bunch of nephews. We have these guys. It's like just spend it on the kids. We can, have drinks and have fun together. That's enough of a gift.
Kimberly Johnson, CTV News.
Well, Ontario's education minister is still deciding the future role of trustees in school boards, including here in Ottawa. But Paul Calandra insists the Ontario government will not get rid of school boards.
Whatever governance change they bring forward will still exist. Parents will still have local boards to access local services.
Calandra spoke with CTV News Ottawa today about the supervisor overseeing the OCDSB. The full interview coming up at 6:35. Well, the drummer for Ottawa's Kathleen Edwards is hoping someone will help find his missing snare drum. Peter Von Elthen performed at the National Arts Centre's 4th stage last night. After dropping off someone in Nepean, Von Elthen said he did not close his tailgate properly, and somewhere between Woodruff Avenue and McLaren's Landing, a bronze Ludwig snare and a Yamaha tom dropped out of the vehicle. Von Elthen says he drove the route again today, but didn't see any signs of the drums on the road.
I was right at the back of the truck. I think it fell out pretty much immediately. My hope is someone grabbed them, doesn't really know what it is, and they're sitting in their house. And maybe if enough people know, that person will know what to do. It's very heartening to see how many people want to help, and makes you feel a little bit better. And lots of people with their own stories of also being a little dumb at times.
Edwards also putting out a call to the public, if anyone knows of the drum's whereabouts, to reach out, and recommends always making sure you close your tailgate. Well, a traffic note for motorists driving around Ottawa this weekend. The Kitchissippi-Macon Parkway will be fully closed in both directions between Carling Avenue and Island Park Drive. The closure will run from 11:30 tonight until 5:30 Monday morning. The city says the closure is to complete work to restore the road to 2 lanes of traffic.
It's meant to be a community gathering place, an opportunity to have prepared foods and really help fight food insecurity.
Coming up on CTV News at 6, a unique approach to fighting hunger, how a new kitchen at an Ottawa Valley High School is being used to make meals for those in need. Jackie.
Thanks so much, Patricia. In less than an hour, the doors of the Bronze Center will open for the Minoshkit Indigenous Music Festival. Now, free of charge to come and enjoy the music festivities. The first artist is at 7:30, but you can also pay what you can. We'll have those details in a little bit. But first, here's a live look through their Centennial Glass Sky Cam. We're sitting at the freezing mark right now, showcasing Elgin Street.
Think you can spot an online scam? Think again.
It's a scam. I hate being scammed.
Next week on CTV News Ottawa, stories of real people who have fallen victim to a fraud and advice to protect yourself. We'll help you spot the scam and stay safe in a digital world. Our popular Team of the Week segment is back. If you want to be a part of our Myers Automotive Group Team of the Week, upload your video to ctvnewsottawa.ca. A newly launched community kitchen in Renfrew is turning donated groceries into meals for the local food bank. The space is a first in Ontario, part of grocery chain Metro's shared kitchen network. Here's CTV's Peter Sperling.
Renfrew Collegiate students Carly and Chelsea are learning culinary skills while helping others.
I love the idea of feeding people.
Turning donated food into meals for the local food bank.
I like to know that I'm helping people in need.
Grocer Metro, in collaboration with Feed Ontario, launching a shared kitchen space at their Renfrew school.
It's going to ensure that people in the community have access to healthy, nutritious food. In addition, it'll reduce social isolation by allowing community groups to come in and use the space.
The newly upgraded kitchen will double the amount of meals distributed, according to the food bank.
We started the program, we were about 500 to 600, and then now with this new shared kitchen and the new facility we have, we're close to 1,000 to 1,200 meals every week.
The Renfrew School, the first location in Ontario for Metro's shared kitchens network.
We're investing nearly $900,000 on the creation of 4 new shared kitchens. For Renfrew itself, it's $190,000 over 4 years.
According to Metro, funding supporting the addition of a new prep and teaching area, along with 6 state-of-the-art kitchen stations for up to 30 participants at this location.
It's meant to be a community gathering place, an opportunity to have prepared foods and really help fight food insecurity within the community.
A place for students and community members.
Great location for fundraisers. If you want to make pies, you could have 20 people in here making pies for a fundraiser all at the same time, and it's a great space for the whole community to use.
Peter Sperling, CTV News.
Well, every Friday we want to put the spotlight on 3 good things happening in our city. We begin with Christmas market season. The National Arts Centre hosting its annual Holiday Craft Market on Sunday. Support local artists and look for Christmas gifts from a selection of handmade goods from artists, makers, and creators. The market runs from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. The final regular 613 Flea of the Year is Saturday at Lansdowne Park. You can check out 150 vendors in the ever-changing marketplace, featuring handmade goods from local artists and artisans. The 613 Flea Holiday Market will run on November 28th and 3 Fridays in December leading up to Christmas. And Santa Claus makes his first appearances in Eastern Ontario this weekend. The Kemptville Santa Claus Parade begins at 4:30 on Saturday. The Cornwall Santa Claus Parade is Saturday at 5 p.m. And on Sunday, the Barhaven Santa Claus Parade will travel along Strandherd Drive. It gets underway at 5:30 p.m. Do you have a story for us to include in our 3 Good Things segment? Something light, happy, a community event, or notable achievement? Send your ideas to ottawanews@ctv.ca. Well, the second weekend of November will be cool and slippery. Cloudy, cool day to chase squirrels in Ottawa today, with some areas seeing wet snow this afternoon. And we now have a freezing rain warning issued for Saturday, which makes it all very interesting heading into a November weekend as we check in with Jackie at the Bronson Centre tonight. So a little bit of everything in this forecast, Jackie.
And it's funny, Patricia, we're going to talk about it in a minute, but really depending on where you are in Eastern Ontario, you could have completely different conditions. So for here in Ottawa, I mean, right now we are sitting around the freezing mark, and there was a little bit of that snow, still slight chance that we could see some flurries moving through, but then by the time we get into the overnight hours, it's likely going to clear up to partly cloudy skies. Now, -7 is the overnight, and it's going to be pretty chilly. That's not factoring in the wind chill. We're getting only to a daytime high of 2 degrees, and you did mention it. There is the risk of freezing rain, as we do have a freezing rain warning in effect. So 2 to 5 millimeters of ice accretion is what we are anticipating. And that's just for here in Ottawa. Take a closer look at the weather system that is moving through for Eastern Ontario. Cloudy skies throughout most of the region. Then you're going to notice for the evening that Kingston, Brockville, more so the rain, anticipating between 5 to 10 millimeters. And yeah, there is a risk that there could be some thunderstorms in Kingston. So they're going to be seeing a daytime high about 9 degrees. But here in Ottawa, it's going to be more freezing rain as well as light flurries that will be moving through well into Sunday. So don't be surprised to see more snowy weather in the capital. Now, the lows for this evening, -7 in Ottawa, -5 in Cornwall, -3 in Kingston, and -6 in Kemptville. As we look towards Montreal, partly cloudy skies, -4. But when we look at the daytime high, that's when we do see a lot of the differences. So sitting around the freezing mark for parts of the valley, as well as Ottawa and Cornwall, that's really where a lot of the cold air is moving through. Then when we go through the lakes, we see Trenton and Kingston at 9 degrees. So it's only going to be 2 hours away, but 9-degree difference, that is something to really keep an eye out for. So pay attention if you are on the roads, plan accordingly, because the weather and the conditions could be switching very quickly. Across the region now, 2 degrees in Halifax. As we look towards Ontario, temperatures are sitting around 0, -2 in Sudbury. And as we look to our friends out west, 4 degrees in Regina, -1 in Calgary, and a daytime high of 9 degrees for Vancouver. Now, our 7-day forecast is brought to you by Davidson Hearing Aid Center. Visit their website to nominate someone to win the gift of hearing. Now, Saturday, risk of freezing rain happening in the afternoon. 2 degrees is the daytime high for our Sunday, where we could see the flurries in the early part of the morning. But by the time Sunday evening rolls around into our Monday and our Tuesday, it is likely we're going to see more cloudy conditions. So drier conditions are ahead for the start of early next week, but it is going to be quite chilly. Patricia.
Thank you, Jackie. Talk in a bit.
We've been through so many different things that, there's a lot of times when it's like, we were really in jeopardy of maybe not existing anymore, and we've somehow managed to pull through.
Well, coming up, celebrating 50 years of entertainment and information at Carleton University. And we have a new pop quiz online tonight. Test your knowledge of the week's news. Take the quiz at ctvnewsottawa.ca.
Tonight, shoppers shifting holiday spending.
I'm finding the prices have gone up so much.
The economic challenge is biting into budgets and where Canadians are cutting back the most. Later on CTV National News.
CTV News community and weather anchor Jackie Perez. Weeknights.
Carleton University's CKCU FM radio turns 50 years old, the oldest campus community radio station with an FM license. Now the station is celebrating and looking ahead to another 50. CTV's Camille Wilson has more.
Getting ready to celebrate a big milestone, Michael Houston never thought it would make it this far.
When we were celebrating our 10th anniversary, people say we never thought we'd make it to 10, and then we said that again the 20th and the 30th and the 40th, and here we are at the 50th. I'm really impressed.
CKCU 93.1 FM radio celebrating 50 years on the air, launching at a time when there were only 2 AM stations in Ottawa and 1 FM commercial station. Houston has been around from almost its inception, says they've managed to survive for 50 years, where a lot of other radio stations, specifically campus community stations, have closed.
It's an amazing feat for Ottawa and for the campus community as well, because that's who we serve, with all sorts of diverse and extreme and a variety of programming.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week programming, ran by 150 active volunteers with 100 programs on the schedule, from jazz, blues, disco, reggae, health, education, education and multicultural shows.
The thing about this show is that the strength of the listenership. CKCU has been entertaining and informing and uplifting and animating the community for all these years. It's a wonderful and a very special thing.
The station has evolved from tape decks, vinyl, MP3s to streaming live in an automated digital system, still holding a record library of approximately 30,000 vinyl records.
We've been through so many different things that, there's a lot of times when it's like, we were really in jeopardy of maybe not existing anymore.
Aardvark started off as a volunteer, now being part of the station for almost 40 years. Journalists, musicians, producers, sports broadcasters have started their careers at CKCU Radio, including Ottawa Mayor Mark Sutcliffe.
It's still so important as a way to get messages out. It's free, it's on the FM dial as well as online now. If you don't have reliable service, you can still hear what's happening on the radio.
I've been active with CKCU since I first got here last fall, and for me, the 50th anniversary really means looking to the future and seeing how we can make a bigger impact with community radio.
Camille Wilson, CTV News.
Congrats to them. Now with some other stories you need to know right now. Carleton and CKCU alum CTV's Stefan Keys joining us now.
Thank you, Patricia. Yeah, those days working the audio board. All right, let's kick things off with this. Another longtime restaurant is set to close its doors in the Byward Market. Play Food and Wine, located on York Street, will close on January 10th. Co-owner Stephen Bechta said on social media that they've decided not to renew the lease and will close after 17 years. Several mainstays have closed in the Byward Market over the past 2 years, including Blue Cactus, The Courtyard, and Dunn's Famous Deli. IKEA will open a plan and order point in Gatineau next year. The location on Maloney Boulevard will offer customers one-on-one planning services with IKEA experts to design and purchase home furnishing. Once the order has been placed, it will be delivered to a shopper's home, or they can collect it from the Gatineau location. Approximately 1,000 goldfish will be removed from a stormwater pond in Ottawa's Central Park neighborhood next week and euthanized. The city says goldfish are an invasive species that can harm native fish populations and disrupt local ecosystems. Last March, hundreds of dead goldfish were located in the same stormwater pond in Celebration Park and removed. Oh, what a night. The Ottawa Senators beat the Boston Bruins 5-3 last night at the Canadian Tire Centre. Tomorrow night, the Sens host the Los Angeles Kings at 7 p.m. It will be the Sens' final game at home until December as they kick off a 7-game road trip next Thursday.
Anyone's to claim in the air. Penny's a goal! Oh, my God! The most incredible goal in CPL history!
Some call it a bicycle kick, but in those weather conditions, David Rodriguez's icicle kick in a blizzard at TD Place has gone mega viral. Broadcaster One Soccer says the clip of the goal has exceeded 1 billion views on social media. Atletico Ottawa beat Cavalry 2-1 to win the Canadian Premier League title last Sunday. Again, Patricia, I was not there for that moment. I was traveling. Right. But seeing that from abroad, I was like, it blew my mind. It blew my mind.
That 1 billion number kills me. I knew it was a great goal. Then I posted it, and then all three of my Australian friends said, "Oh yeah, we saw that goal. We saw the highlights.
Saw it.
Yeah,
everyone.
Amazing." And then saw it again and again.
Yeah.
So cool. We want to go back out to Jackie now, who's at the Bronson Centre tonight, where some cool stuff is happening there. Jackie.
Yes, it's an Indigenous music festival. It is night 2, Patricia and Stefan, and I want to bring in the performers here. I got Iskatuga, and I also have Ruben here with the Ruben and the Bullhorn Singers. Let's start with you, Iskatuga. Just talk about just what it means to be here and performing tonight on stage.
I think any Indigenous music is good music, and I want to share this with the world, and hopefully we can bring a lot of people here to come and listen. And we have an interesting blend of music here. We have, we have folk music, and we have our traditional Blackfoot music, singing music. We're originally a powwow drum group from Blood Tribe, Blackfoot Confederacy, and we travel in that world and sing in that world. And since 5 years ago, we've been collaborating with Ruben and blending the two music, and it's turning out pretty good.
Let's bring Ruben in here. We talked about this collaboration, the non-Indigenous aspect with the Indigenous, like combining that, especially here on stage at the Bronson Center tonight. What does that mean to you?
Well, I think it's really special for us to be invited to something like this. I'm a non-Indigenous person, and Billy has really kindly welcomed me into a whole world of culture and music. We blend, my band is called Ruben and the Dark, and we kind of have like an indie rock, folk rock sound. We met Billy, a number of years ago now, and we've started combining the two things. So for us to get, exposed to even more beautiful music that we don't necessarily come across, like we all have our little worlds, and so it's been really expanding and really like life-changing collaborating together.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much, and thank you for sharing this. Just remind the folks at home, doors open at 7:30. It's pay what you can. You can even come for free if you will. What time are you guys hitting the stage?
10 o'clock.
Okay, still lots of time. Grab dinner, get warmed up, and then make your way here down to the Bronson Center. Again, it's the Indigenous Music Festival. We will be hanging out here until 7 p.m. tonight when the doors do open.
All right, thank you, Jackie. Talk to you later. Well, coming up, we speak with Ontario Education Minister Paul Calandra about the situation at the Ottawa Public School Board.
Get the latest live, local breaking news. Sign up now for our morning and evening CTV News Ottawa newsletter. The best local content from CTV News, Your Morning Ottawa, and News Talk 580 CFRA. Get it all in one place. Sign up now at ctvnewsottawa.ca. The CTV News Ottawa newsletter is brought to you in part by CAA Business.
Well, the Bell Media Building is lit up bigger and brighter this year thanks to our friends at Christmas Decor from Nutrilon. Ottawa parents have many questions after some major changes at the city's largest school board this week. The provincially appointed supervisor, Robert Plamondon, announced the sudden departure of the Ottawa Carleton District School Board's Director of Education. And now the Ford government is set to open what it calls student and family support offices at the 5 school boards it has taken over, including the OCDSB. Joining us now to discuss all of this is Ontario's Education Minister Paul Calandra. Appreciate you being here, Minister.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Parents have obviously felt very cut off from access to the board since that supervisor moved in, and trustees have been rendered essentially ineffectual in their previous role. The center is something, but how will it work? Is this an opportunity for parents to go in, talk to someone face-to-face about their concerns, or is it more of a call center?
I think by and large what'll continue to happen is that parents will still be reaching out first and foremost to their teacher and to principals, and they will have an ability to escalate for some of the more serious issues that it can't be resolved in that fashion up to the board. There will be a number that they can call. A case will be opened. They'll be contacted within 2 days, and an expectation that within 5 days there will be a resolution made to the complaint or the concern. Or additional work will be done. And it's not just for the biggest of issues. Like, it can be something as simple as, how do I download my child's report card? Sometimes parents have said, I don't want to always ask the teacher. Is there other way we can have simple questions answered? And this is an avenue that brings together those who are already doing the work in the board in a more in a fashion that is more responsive to parents and easier for them to access.
Okay, but some parents would say there's been only big issues of late. You referred to the school board a couple of times in an interview with News Talk 580 CFRA yesterday as a hot mess. I think a lot of parents feel this whole situation is a hot mess. Who is at fault in that? Is it the trustees? Is it the recently departed Director of Education?
No, look, I've said right from the beginning, I think first and foremost, the fault has to lie with governments, provincial governments, that for the last, frankly, 40 years of all parties that have continuously downloaded responsibility to boards and to trustees who don't have the ability to address some of the fundamental issues surrounding our educational system. By and large, we've always seemed to have wanted to avoid the accountability that comes with being the decision maker. So I think first and foremost, it lies with governments that have done that. The Ottawa board in particular, look, it's one of those boards that took a multi-year surplus, turned it into a deficit. But there was ongoing challenges between trustees, fighting happening between trustees, parents who felt ignored. And we knew that we had to step in and bring the board back on the right path, and that's what Supervisor Plamondon is.
And I've heard you say that trustees aren't even aware of some of these problems and concerns that parents have, that they haven't been keeping a good track record of some of those concerns. Is there a role for trustees going forward in your mind? I mean, they're considered this grassroots, municipal, close to the people layer of elected official. Is there a role for trustees? Do you have any faith in trustees going forward?
Look, you're right in the sense that many of the boards were not tracking what calls that they were getting from parents, what issues they were resolving. Look, they were, in many instances, the boards were doing a good job of resolving those issues. But when you ask for data, what are the types of things that parents are concerned about? Many of the boards weren't tracking that. With respect to the governance model, I'm still reviewing the governance model. I haven't brought a recommendation forward to cabinet yet, but I have not seen anything that has pushed me away from my initial thoughts that serious governance, the model has to change. It has to be more able to move more quickly than we are today. And I'm still reviewing whether trustees should be the main avenue by which that change happens.
More control in Toronto at Queen's Park and less here at the local level in Ottawa.
No, I don't buy that at all, Patricia. Let me fight back on that one if I can, just for a moment. We're not getting rid of school boards. Like, full stop. I have no desire to get rid of school boards, amalgamate them, or merge them into one. The Ottawa Carleton District School Board, whatever governance change I bring forward, will still exist. Parents will still have local boards to access local services. So this thought that somehow the minister from Toronto is going to be deciding what schools should open, that's just not on the table at all. So boards are still going to exist. Local access to decision making will still exist.
Education Minister Paul Calandra, thank you very much for your time today. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Well, coming up, a look at the business news on this Friday, including Enbridge boosting oil shipments south.
You're watching CTV News with Patricia Boll. Hey. CTV and TSN 1200 want you to be the Myers Automotive Group Team of the Week. Your team could win $1,000 for new equipment, tournament fees, or an incredible team party.
Shoot us a quick video uploaded at ctvottawa.ca. Whether it's hockey, ringette, choir, band, or any team in between. Each week, the winning team will join us live in studio at CTV Ottawa at 6 to claim their prize.
Enter today for your chance to be Myers Automotive Group Team of the Week. iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barhaven Ford, Ottawa's newest and largest Ford store, and Eastern Ontario's Ford EV leader.
Headed to the weekend, time now to check in with our iHeartRadio Weekender, Tanea Taylor. Tanea.
Your Ottawa 67s have a game tomorrow against the Niagara Ice Dogs at the arena at TD Place. Great one for the whole family or to grab some friends to watch with. Puck drop is at 3 p.m. and gates open at 2. Always super fun to cheer on a hometown hockey team. Next on today's list is the Barhaven Santa Claus Parade. Yes, we are at that time of year again. It's starting at 5:30 on Sunday. Move 100 is going to be in the parade along with floats from all your favorite local friends. It starts at Beatrice and Stranraer Drive and ends next to the Canadian Tire Center. Bundle up, bring out the kids. Santa will be there. And last today is the 7th annual Holly Yay Craft Market at the NAC. This features dozens of local vendors, all helping you get into the Christmas spirit and helping you get a head start on your Christmas shopping. Always love a good chance to support local. As usual, lots more happening around the capital this weekend. For the full list and all the details, check ctvottawa.ca/weekenders. For the iHeartRadio Weekenders, I'm Tanea Taylor. Have a great one.
iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barhaven Ford, Ottawa's newest and largest Ford store, and Eastern Ontario's Ford EV leader.
Enbridge has approved an investment that will see more Canadian heavy oil sent to the U.S. BNN Bloomberg's Morella Fernandez has more.
The Canadian pipeline operator will spend $1.4 billion to increase the amount of oil it sends south. That investment will allow Enbridge to send another 150,000 barrels of oil a day through the Mainline network, which runs from Western to Eastern Canada and the U.S. Midwest. And it will add 100,000 barrels a day to the Flanagan South pipeline, which runs to the U.S. Gulf Coast. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is down a fraction to 71.30. West Texas Intermediate crude is up over $1 to 59.95. Western Canadian Select is up, but only by 13 cents to 46.90. And the TSX gained only 72 points, a small reversal after yesterday's big drop of over 500 points. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
Well, coming up, Grey Cup fever is gripping Winnipeg ahead of Sunday's big game. Jackie.
Well, we are still here at the Bronson Center, and we are joined by Sarah. You're one of the event organizers. This is the second night of this festival, the first year that it has extended, so congratulations. And you said that it's going to be a donation for cost of the ticket to come in. So.
Yes, it is a pay what you can event, and all donations, all proceeds go to the Gord Downey and Chani Wenjack Fund. So you're more than invited to come. It's going to be so good.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Again, doors open at 7 o'clock, first act at 7:30. Now here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Skycam showcasing Sussex Drive. Current temperature, we're sitting at the freezing mark.
Monday on CTV Your Morning Ottawa, an 11-year-old race car driver is getting ready to represent Canada on the world stage. We meet him on the show. Wake up the right way with Your Morning Ottawa.
Hairstyles, courtesy of Salon Fiorella.
Well, here's what's on CTV tonight. E-Talk, Happy Place, Celebrity Wheel of Fortune, Special Forces, World's Toughest Test, and Boston Blue. One final check on your forecast now heading into the weekend. Back out to Jackie at Bronson Center for us tonight. Jackie.
It's going to be a very chilly evening, Patricia. My overnight temperature is -7, and when you walk out the door, if you're heading out at 7 in the morning, it's going to be about -5. It's only getting to get to about the freezing mark for tomorrow. And keep in mind, there is a freezing rain warning in effect that will go until Saturday evening. We are expecting 2 to 5 millimeters of ice accretion, so keep an eye on this. Plan your route accordingly and drive safe as we get into our weekend. Sunday, we are likely going to have some flurries in the morning, but then we are in for some drier but colder conditions for the start of the early next week. That's it from us here at the Bronson Center. Doors are going to be opening very shortly. Have a good night and have a great weekend.
Have a wonderful weekend yourself, Jackie. Thank you very much. And CTV's Stefan Keys is here to really wrap up the weekend with you tonight on the desk at 11:30.
That's right, Patricia. We're even looking ahead to next week. So, as you know, next week is a solid week of warning people about scams and what you need to know. But tonight we will let folks know what is going on is a generation of people that are being vulnerable. A new report suggests that it's not actually seniors that are being targeted the most. Criminals are going to be Grinches this holiday season, and it's actually Gen Z, believe it or not, Patricia. Gen Z is being targeted very much by text messaging scams.
All right. Did not know that. We're going to find out a whole lot more about scams next week.
Yes.
For sure. Steph, thank you. And you will be on the desk at 11:30 with all of that for us tonight. Finally, for us in the show, it is Canadian football's biggest weekend. Of course, the Grey Cup happens Sunday. Well, football fans from across the country are in Winnipeg for Sunday's Grey Cup showdown. Events are being held right up until the championship game between the Saskatchewan Roughriders and the Montreal Alouettes. The Riders have not won the Cup since 2013, and their fans are just so into this.
Yes.
It's going to make it really interesting. You can see the game on CTV and TSN Sunday evening. I'll tell you, just about everyone who works for TSN is there in Winnipeg this weekend.
Are you jealous? Are you
I'm
jealous?
A little jealous. Yeah, I did a Grey Cup a couple of years ago. I'll get there again soon. Maybe the next time Ottawa is in the mix.
Yes.
But yeah, they were having a lot of fun at the CFL Awards last night, for
I
sure.
bet.
And all the festival events. There is pregame coverage all day on Saturday, and then the actual pregame show on Sunday afternoon.
Who are you rooting for, Alouettes or Rough Riders?
Well,
I'll put you on the spot.
I mean, I feel like I should root for the Owls. I do love Montreal teams. They play at Molson Stadium. I went to McGill. All of that. But they are more of a rival for Ottawa, and I'd love to see it happen for Sask because their fans are deserving.
Oh yeah,
of that,
you think our nation is strong? Woo, those Rough Rider fans.
Oh my gosh, getting
goodness.
in the green, painting the faces, and enjoying the show for sure. Some good music too. Our Lady Peace is going to open things up. Machine Gun Kelly, MGK, at the intermission. We'll leave you with some more pleasant weather shots of Ottawa heading into a freezing rain warning this weekend. Have a good night, everyone.